In a world where time travel, forbidden love, and historical upheavals collide, Diana Gabaldon's A Breath of Snow and Ashes continues the epic saga of Claire and Jamie Fraser. The story sweeps you into the turbulent heart of the American Revolution, a time of immense struggle and change, as Claire and Jamie's deep connection faces one of its greatest tests. What happens when love must fight against the backdrop of a nation on the brink of war? This installment of the Outlander series takes the reader on a gripping journey, full of passionate encounters, painful separations, and intense historical drama. The story begins. Claire Randall, a World War II nurse, and Jamie Fraser, a Highland warrior, have already endured incredible hardships in their past, and yet the battles they face in A Breath of Snow and Ashes feel as intense as ever. At the start of this novel, they are living in colonial America in the late 18th century, a time when revolution is beginning to brew. The couple, who have defied time itself to be together, find themselves caught in the storm of history. Their intimate world is threatened as the political tides shift around them. Set against the backdrop of the impending American Revolution, Claire and Jamie must navigate not just the dangers of the world they live in, but the hidden perils of their own hearts. The tension between loyalty to their people, the British, and the growing urge to support the American colonists creates a delicate balance for the Frasers. They are drawn into a web of intrigue where allegiances shift and alliances fracture as the revolution looms ever closer. A world in turmoil. As the Revolutionary War begins to take shape, the Frasers are forced to choose sides in a conflict that will tear families apart. Jamie, a former Jacobite rebel, finds himself deeply torn between his love for his family and his political convictions. Claire, who comes from the future, is well aware of the war's devastating consequences and the lives that will be lost. However, despite her knowledge, she is unable to change history entirely. Her presence in the past is a constant reminder that time, while bendable, remains unpredictable and uncontrollable. At the same time, their lives are complicated by the constant threats from enemies both old and new. The couple has survived far worse than the conflict of their time: pirates, betrayals, assassinations, but this war is personal. For Jamie and Claire, the war is no longer just a battle for independence. It's a fight to protect their family, their land, and their future together. The unbreakable bond of love. One of the most striking aspects of this book is the deep bond between Claire and Jamie. Their love has already withstood the test of time, but in A Breath of Snow and Ashes, they face a new kind of battle. The events they encounter force them to re-examine what it means to be a family, what it means to stand together, and how to protect those you love even when the world seems set against you. Throughout the novel, we witness Claire's remarkable resilience and strength. As a time traveler, she is constantly challenged by the limitations of her knowledge and the power dynamics of the 18th century. Her medical knowledge brought from the future is both a gift and a curse. While she has the power to heal and save lives, it often places her in perilous situations, where the knowledge she possesses can turn into a weapon or a dangerous secret. Jamie's devotion to Claire is unwavering, and his fierce love for her often leads him into difficult and dangerous circumstances. He has always been a man of honor, but the events surrounding the revolution and the conflicts within his own family force him to reconsider what honor truly means. Family and legacy. As the Frasers fight for survival, their journey also becomes a story of family and legacy. The book explores the relationships between generations and the complexities of parenthood. The young generation, represented by Jamie and Claire's daughter, Brianna, and her husband Roger, must also navigate their own challenges in the face of a growing conflict. Brianna and Roger, too, find themselves in the midst of political strife and the struggles of war, but their future is intertwined with the past in a way they never expected. At the heart of this story is the unbreakable bond that holds the Fraser family together. Despite the separation of time, history, and geography, their love and devotion to one another endure. Each new obstacle brings them closer to the realization that no matter what comes, they will always fight for one another. This enduring theme of family love, loyalty, and sacrifice runs throughout the book, reminding us that the greatest battles we face are often the ones fought for those we hold dear. War, betrayal, and sacrifice. While the overarching theme of the story revolves around the Fraser family's love and survival, A Breath of Snow and Ashes doesn't shy away from the gritty and often brutal realities of war. As the revolution progresses, the battles become more intense, and the characters find themselves embroiled in the violence of the conflict. The violence is not just physical, but emotional as well. as betrayals, secrets, and difficult choices unfold in the backdrop of the American colony's struggle for independence. This novel is full of gut-wrenching moments, both personal and political. The Frasers are forced to make sacrifices for the greater good, often at the expense of their own happiness. At times, their choices are heart-wrenching, and the consequences of those decisions weigh heavily on their hearts and minds. The book delves into the emotional cost of war and loyalty, and the sacrifices that must be made for the sake of those they love. The power of time and memory. One of the most fascinating elements of A Breath of Snow and Ashes is the role time plays in the lives of the characters. Claire's ability to travel through time has always been a key aspect of her journey, but in this book, time becomes even more significant. The story explores the way memory and the past shape who we are and who we will become. The characters are constantly haunted by the choices they've made and the history they've lived through. But it also shows how memories can be a source of strength, allowing them to carry on in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. As Claire and Jamie continue their fight for survival, they are reminded that no matter what happens, time cannot be undone. Their love for each other, their family, and their land is what will carry them forward, even when everything else seems to be falling apart. In this way, A Breath of Snow and Ashes becomes more than just a historical drama. It's a reflection on the resilience of the human spirit and the ways in which love, memory, and time shape our destinies. Conclusion: a timeless saga. Diana Gabaldon's A Breath of Snow and Ashes is a stunning continuation of the Outlander series, filled with passion, sacrifice, and historical turmoil. The novel transports readers to a world where love, family, and loyalty are tested by the ravages of war and time. With rich characters, deep emotional connections, and a vividly depicted historical setting, it is a book that will leave readers captivated and longing for more. As Claire and Jamie Fraser face the challenges of the American Revolution, their journey is a testament to the enduring power of love and the unbreakable bonds of family. This is a tale that will stay with you long after the last page is turned, making A Breath of Snow and Ashes an audiobook experience you won't want to miss.